There was a young man who had ambitions to work for a company because it paid very well and was very prestigious. He prepared his resume and had several interviews. Eventually, he was given an entry-level position. Then he turned his ambition to his next goal, a supervisor position that would afford him even greater prestige and pay more. So, he completed the task he was given. He came in early some mornings and stayed late so the boss would see him putting in long hours. After 5 years, a supervisor position became available. But to the young man's great dismay, another employee who had only worked for the company for 6 months was given the promotion. This young man was very angry, and he went to his boss and demanded an explanation. The wise boss said, "Before I answer your questions, would you do me a favor?" "Yes, sure," said the employee. "Would you go to the store and buy some oranges? My wife needs them." The young man agreed and went to the store. When he returned, the boss asked, "What kind of oranges did you buy?" The employee said, "I don't know. You told me to buy oranges, and these are oranges. Here they are." "How much did they cost?" said the boss. "Well, I'm not sure. You gave me 50 dirhams. Here is your receipt, and here's your change." "Thank you. Now, please have a seat and pay careful attention." Then the boss called in the employee who had received the promotion and asked him to do the same job. He readily agreed and went to the store. When he returned, the boss asked, "What kind of oranges did you buy?" Well, the store had many varieties. There were navel oranges, Valencia oranges, tangerines, and many others, and I didn't know which kind to buy. But I remembered you said your wife needed the oranges, so I called her. She said she was having a party and that she was going to make orange juice. So I asked the grocer which of all these oranges would make the best orange juice. He said the Valencia orange was full of very sweet juice, so that's what I bought. I dropped them to your home on my way back to the office. Your wife was very pleased." "How much did they cost?" asked the boss. "Well, that was another problem. I didn't know how many to buy, so I once again called your wife and asked her how many guests she was expecting. She said 20. I asked the grocer how many oranges would be needed to make juice for 20 people, and it was a lot. So I asked the grocer if he could give me a quantity discount, and he did. These oranges normally cost 75 fils each, but I paid only 25 fils. Here is your change and the receipt." The boss smiled and said, "Thank you. You may go." He looked over at the young man who had been watching. The young man stood up, slumped his shoulders, and said, "I see what you mean," as he walked dejectedly out of the office. What was the difference between these two young men? They were both asked to buy oranges, and they did. You might say that one went the extra mile, or one was more efficient, or one paid more attention to detail. But the most important difference had to do with real intent rather than just going through the motions. The first young man was motivated by money, position, and prestige. The second young man was driven by an intense desire to please his employer and an inner commitment to be the best employee he could possibly be, and the outcome was obvious. Anyone can be a great employee, if that is their real intent. But real intent must come from within. It doesn't come from external motivators such as money or titles. Real intent comes from a genuine desire to do the right thing for the right reason, along with an inner commitment to always put forth a best effort in all that one does. Great employees are willing to focus on helping others to become more successful, and inevitably, they themselves grow to become great leaders in the process. They take accountability for their actions, and they own their mistakes. They gain reputations of being trustworthy, and they can earn the respect of their coworkers. And they understand the value of a team.